Hey everyone on YouTube. I am going to show you exactly how my Australian Santa is designed. Like I said, it's similar to the Rockalon Santas, but it's a little bit different. And a lot of people were telling me to do different things. Some people told me to 3D print it. Some people said use parts from another one. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how it's broken. Just a minute. Okay. See, right here, it would be almost impossible to 3D print this. Okay? Because notice, this is all one piece. This is all one piece here. And actually, in order to get this off, I have to desolder all these wires. That's why Kevin wasn't able to switch out parts from another Santa. Oh, look, it's completely broken off. It wasn't that broken yesterday. See that? That's kind of what his arm is like, but it's not completely broken off. Like, his arm doesn't move at all either, but it's not broken like that. And I still don't know how it can crack so badly just by posing the arm a lot, because I've posed their arms a lot. That doesn't happen. But again, the quality is cheaper. It's actually got another crack underneath this glue, as far as I can remember. And look, I think there's another crack right here. Yeah, I see it's glued down there too. It might be cracked down there. And it was cracked here too on the other arm. That one's not as broken though, but it'll eventually get there. But yeah, this is how it's designed. Again, it's similar to these, but again, these are a little bit different. And here's the head design. The head goes in between here, and when it goes side to side, it moves the head. These ones, it's similar, but it doesn't have thick pieces like this. It has a little peg, 2 little pegs. That's what they have. And as soon as they fall backwards, those pegs break. Especially if they're dancing when they fall over. But I've made videos, like, it's easy fixing that, but I really don't know how I'm going to be able to fix this, really. Because it's just broken so bad that you can clearly see now what's broken on it. It's completely broken off, and I don't know, glue is definitely not going to hold that. The plastic's too thin, that's the problem. That's why glue's not working. It's too thin. If it was thicker, it would probably work. But this plastic is really thin. Like, their plastic is actually quite a bit thicker in these ones. Now, the thing with this is it has no screws in the belly. These ones do. So, if I let go of the stomach, the whole thing will eventually fall apart. See, it's got screws here that you can unscrew it and then take the belly off. But, like I said, the belly will completely fall off if I let go. So yeah, I'm limited to options. Like I said, there's 2 different designs of the Rockalon Santas here, okay? I've got a fried Christmas time Santa for parts here. See, oh, I don't really have a good example here because it's in pieces, but I don't know how I'm going to show this. Oh, these pieces here. Look at this. This is different. See, this actually is separated. See how this is all one piece? This is separated. That would be able to be 3D printed. And this is the one I was going to have Kevin. I was going to have Kevin switch out the pieces from this Santa and put it in here. But he would have had to switch out this whole mechanism. And it would have taken a lot longer, and it would have been a lot harder. Because like I said, he would have had to desolder all these wires. And like I said, this is a different Rockalon Santa design. These other Santas are designed like him, a little bit. That one's on. It's all one piece in these ones. Okay, the ones that are designed like this are the Jingle Bell ones. Some of the Short Christmas Time ones, I don't know if this was a Short Christmas Time or a lawn one. It never worked. It never worked one time. The previous owner fried it. But they're like, okay, here's the thing. These are the later model designs, I can tell. Because these were made in 2000. And all the Jingle Bell ones are designed this way, where it's separated. These all the up on the housetops, as far as I've seen, are designed in one piece, like this. Some of this short Christmas time one is designed like the Jingle Bells. It's designed like this. These other three are designed like this. All these lawn Christmas time ones, I think these lawn ones might have been the first ones made, the Radio Shack exclusive ones, because the sound quality in the Radio Shack ones are actually not as good. This one's a Rock-A-Lawn Santa. They're both the same thing, but his sound quality is so much better. These are Rockin' Santas. He's Rock-A-Lawn Santa. Same song, same sayings, same everything. Just the sound quality is so much better. So I think these might have been the first ones made. So, and they're all designed this way. So, if I had one to use for parts that were designed this way, it would more than likely be easier to switch out the parts and fix it that way. Maybe, but maybe not. Because like I said, it's the stomach that's designed different. The stomach is what is going to give me a lot of problems. And up here, I tried putting a regular Rock-A-Lawn Santa on him, and even his head is a different size. See? Completely. So I'm not sure if that would work or not. Like I said, I'm not using any of these for parts. They all work, and they're all different. They all have different pitches. Their 5-minute timer, actually... Okay, I started timing how long their timers take. This one takes 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Some of them are 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Some of them are 5 minutes and 15 seconds. They're all different. All of these are different. None of them work the same. None of them look really the same. They might look the same to you, but I have all these here, and I know which one's which. I never get them mixed up. I can always tell which one is which when they're not playing. Well, I think sometimes I get him and him mixed up sometimes, but all these I can tell which one's which. I know which one's my first ones. I know which one's the last one I got. I know they're all special. I know the differences between all of these. This one's head looks both directions. This one only looks one direction. This one looks a little bit both directions. It looks all the way that way, but not all the way this way. Same with him. His head only looks one direction. His head looks two directions. His head looks kind of both. One direction, kind of two. This one looks both directions. This one looks both directions. He didn't always, though. When I first got him, he didn't. Yeah. See, I know. Like that's why I'm so obsessed with these Santas. They all kind of move differently. Their heads work differently on some. Their arms are kind of the same, but the heads are what's so different about all these. The pitches, the breaks, the timers that they have. It's just all different on them. None of them start up at the same time. Even if they stop at the same time, they all start up at different times. But like he doesn't since his break is 5 minutes and 30 seconds, it will always start up in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That doesn't change. But like each one starts up at a different time. I'm not sure why that is, but I like I said, I started timing them the other day to see how long they take. This is the lowest pitch one out of the Christmas time ones I have of the lawn ones. That's the highest pitch out of the short one. This one I think is the lowest pitch. This is the lowest pitch up on the housetop I have. You see, so yeah. I'm very picky with these Santas. Well, not picky, but like these Santas, like that's why I get so many of these, because like again, they're all different. Like, and the Jimmy Santas, well, I mean, they always have different pitches, but they're not as interesting to me as these kinds are. So, yeah. And the only one I don't have, like, this one was the first one I got again in 2008 Christmas, and these two. So, these are the oldest. So, yeah, and like this one, and this one I got in 2009 Christmas. Those are pretty old. These two and this one I got for my birthday in 2009. Okay, a lot of these are, like I told you, I know which ones are which. These things have, I mean, yes, they've lost pose before, and their heads have broke on the only one that's never had a broken head was this one. But I did, on this one, I had to put a twist tie around the pins because they were getting loose. But I technically don't consider that broken yet. His head has been broken before. His head has been broken before. His has been broken. His has been broken. His has been broken. Not yet. He almost, when I got him, he was almost already broken. His has been broken. Him not yet. Him not yet. But his was almost broken when I got him. The Mrs. Clauses have never broke. His has been broken. So, and they're all working though. I've fixed them all, and they're still lasting me. So, and the only one I don't have is my very first Up on the Housetop one that I found at an antique store in 2005. And that one was my favorite out of all. All of these work nothing like that one did. That one worked so amazing. Like the head and arms, everything, it moved great. None of these four work like that first Up on the Housetop one. That one kind of almost does, but it's high-pitched. It doesn't have the same pitch, but it almost does work like that one. But his head is just a little looser. Because when I look back at the videos of that old one, his head looked like it was really tight and it moved really well. But at the time, his arm was losing pose, and I didn't know how to fix them back then. So I kept posing it, and of course it got worse. But like that thing, okay, by the time the arm completely quit posing, I took it apart, and I took it apart wrong because I took the stomach and the back apart. It took my grandpa like 4 hours to put it back together and fix it. He fixed the arm. The other arm wasn't broken yet, but the head was broken, and I didn't know how to fix that at the time. So the head didn't work anymore. The arms worked, the body worked. But, you know, a year later, probably, his other arm started losing pose. His other arm was still fine, but it still kept slipping down when I was using the 6-volt adapter. But then later, when I started using the Present Pack, his motor actually started dying. It was really weak. And so I plugged in the 6-volt again. Well, when I did that arm on it lost complete pose. And like I said, I didn't know how to fix them back then. And then I didn't want to use the 6-volt adapter because that arm wouldn't stay up anymore. So I had to use the Present Pack. But when I used the Present Pack, it wasn't strong enough to move it wasn't strong enough for the motor. The motor was weak, so it didn't move. And I got really mad, and I just quickly unplugged the Present from the back of the boot because they unplugged back there. It cracked the circuit board, and it never worked again. The circuit board literally cracked in half. And that is why I no longer have that one. And all these other ones have survived because I know how to fix them now. But this one's piece is, like I said, I've never had one broken like this before. But this one doesn't always work. Like when I plug it in, I have to hold the plug down for it to start up. I'm afraid his circuit board is starting to crack. I hope it's not, because this one sounds like my first one, but it doesn't work like my first one. That one works close to my first one, but it doesn't sound like my first one. So, yeah. I hope his not cracking, because this is, like it said, this is my lowest pitch Up on the Housetop one. And you know what else is strange? This is the head from my first Up on the Housetop Sienna. This is the original head. His head is actually him. I switched his head out. Let's see. I think, and this red Up on the Housetop, that's actually his head. Where is his head? Laying around. I have 2 Santa heads laying around because I don't have my first up on housetop anymore. And sorry, my memory keeps cutting off, but I'm making this all one video. This is basically like a little documentary of these Santas here, because like, okay, basically my point is I study these each one individual, and that's why I always know the difference and different pitches, and like I turn them on. I use them all at the same time. I always have them on the timer mode, and this goes on for hours. I can be doing this for 5 hours straight, just watching their timers go off, seeing which one's going to start up first, which one's going to start up last, and then since they're all different pitches, they never start at the same time. Like, it's always there. And since I have so many, they start up in so many different patterns. Like sometime maybe he could start up first because he stopped first, and then he stopped last, so he would start up last. And then his song is so short, his song is long. By the time his song is almost done, if he stops singing when he starts up, he's going to start up again after he's done singing because his song is long. You know, I just watch this. This is I don't know. It might make it seem a little weird, but I just do. That's why I like these Santas. And their arms have been broken on pretty much all of these. All of these have lost pose before. His pose was basically broken right brand new out of the box. It broke the right next day I had it. It wouldn't stay up. I used to, before I knew how to fix the pose, like I said, you have to, oh yeah, I'll show you how to do that too. You see the screw? What originally happens is these plastic tabs here end up snapping. All you have to do is tighten this screw and make it really tight. Then they will pose again. That's all you have to do. Because before they break, the screw is not tight at all. It's just holding this on. And these plastic tabs are what keeps the arms up. See like how this arm is up? See how it moves? That's what's keeping it up. Those little plastic tabs. That's not much support, is it? Well, those eventually break, and once they break, then the arms slip down when they move. And then all you have to do is tighten the screw. And so like before you tighten the screw, it's basically relying on these plastic tabs, which cannot hold for that long. Of course they'll eventually break, especially when you pose them. See, like, look at this. Watch when I pose this. If this thing can focus. Oh my god. When I pose it, you can see the pressure it puts on those. Look at how they bend. Those instantly almost break when you pose them. So you can't pose them too much before they stop losing pose. Because like I said, the whole arm is relying on these plastic tabs. And see, when the arms are flaining like this, yeah, it's just relying on those plastic tabs. But once you tighten the screw, it's relying on the screw. So yeah, it doesn't need these tabs once you tighten the screw. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how my grandpa fixed the arm on my first up on the housetop, because I don't really know if he tightened the screw on that or not. Because that thing completely lost pose, which means both of the tabs ended up breaking. Because here's the thing. Here's how before you tighten the screw, and before these are broken, it makes a clicking noise when you pose the arms. When those are broken off and you tighten the screw, you can just pose them. It's not going to click. You can just pose it. Well, when Grandpa fixed my first up on the housetop, it still clicked. So I don't know what he did. I don't know if he re-glued the plastic tab back on or what he did, but I don't know. But anyways, the only ones that have never lost pose yet in their arms is him. I did tighten the Mrs. Clauses at one point, but they didn't really ever lose pose. His arms lost pose. Almost all of these did. This one, these two were the tightest out of all of them I've had. Like, their arms were really tight when I got them, surprisingly. So, his arms never really lost pose, and neither did his. His did eventually, but it took a while. But he lost pose right away. He lost pose right away. He did, like, his head broke after 2 days of having it, because he would dance so fast that he would fall over and his head broke, and after that his arms started losing pose as well. None of them are loose anymore, but I'm just telling you which ones all have, basically all of them. He hasn't yet, because I got him brand new off eBay last year. I think his were. His actually is losing pose. This arm right here, the only reason it doesn't slip down when it moves is because the rubber belt is so weak, but his arm is extremely loose. It actually really is. He's the next one that needs fixing. Really the only one though is this one, but I just got that one, and nope, that one never lost pose yet either, and that one. So basically, and him, 4. Only 4 of them haven't lost pose yet, and that's only because those 4 are the newest ones. I got those last Christmas. All these other ones are, well, I got him last Christmas, but that's the thing is they weren't used as much. All the ones that were used more have already lost pose. So, yeah, they do lose pose pretty fast when you get them. The only ones that didn't were these two, because like I said, they were really tight. But yeah, his arm started losing pose before I even had him. When Joseph had him, his arms already lost pose. So yeah, his arms were broken. His pose was broken right out of the box. But yeah. Well, I think that's about it. I mean, I know this is probably a boring video to you guys, and you maybe a lot of you don't care, but I just feel like I should explain a little or tell a story about these things. So yeah, but that was an inside look of the Australian Sienna and a whole story about these Rockland Siennas and how they're, yeah, you get it. Anyways, I'm going to stop the video now, so thanks for watching.